Hey, everybody, welcome. Pre-post show, how you doing? All right.
The pre-postest, showstest with the mostest.
Whoa.
And we're your hostestists.
We're the wokest.
The woke?
The wokest
I don't think so.
hostests.
We tried that. That didn't work out.
We're the wokest, dude.
No, it worked out fine.
Did it?
People responded positively to that show. I think
Did they?
I think they appreciated the
attempt.
the spirit. Yeah, the spirit of our attempt.
Yeah, I mean, because we gave it our best shot. Wasn't that great?
I saw 2 Patreon comments on that show and was like, best show ever. Underneath it, worst show ever. Yeah. It's like, wow.
I love a good divisive episode.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
That's always the best response. I always like it. My favorite is when I do something and it's like most people like it, like 80%, but then there's like a solid fifth that are like,
hell no.
this is fucking trash.
Oh, hell no.
That's my magic ratio. Now, when I was younger, I used to love when it was totally right down the middle split. But I think now my ego needs a little bit more coddling. So now I like it when there's just a little bit more people that like it than hate it, but there's still a healthy amount that hate it.
58% enjoyed the episode. Oh, all right.
Okay, cool.
I
The
saw
other
your
40% despise
I saw your
it.
latest edgy video. You fucking firefighter. Let me give you a piece of my mind, firefighters. TJ gets into a fuck car wreck. Jaws of life. Oh, wait, is that TJ Kirk? Nah, fuck him.
Just leave him.
Please help me.
Yeah,
Let
people
him
are,
die.
people were kept being like, well, you're going to be thankful for firefighters. You ever need them? It's like, well, no shit.
Dude, I saw you
I'm
got...
thankful for the ice cream man when he fucking comes by. I mean, shit.
I saw
yeah,
you
those are the
got
same
in like
things.
a kerfluffle with the real creamage, dude.
Yeah, dude, I hate that dude.
You hate the creamage?
Yeah.
Dude, he was griping your ass something fierce on the subreddit,
He
dude.
was stupid as shit. He
He
made
was-
the dumbest fucking argument I've ever heard.
He was
What was the argument?
he was saying that because there's like more people and we
I
spread out
okay,
more,
look.
we need more firefighters to cover more territory.
Right. The thing is that even I mean, I actually pulled quotes of firefighters admitting that if there were departments that were just devoted to fire, like what the fire department was initially conceived as,
Sure.
then it could pretty much be fully staffed by volunteers. And then people started arguing that by saying, well, firefighting techniques are much more advanced now. It's like, well, yeah, but you could teach the fucking volunteers the techniques.
Right.
It's not like volunteer doesn't mean retard who doesn't know what they're fucking doing.
No, not at all. But I mean,
You know, I don't know.
I mean, shouldn't people be paid? I mean, the number of firefighters, sure, you can debate that. But I mean, obviously, I think they should be paid still. I shouldn't just be all volunteers.
I mean, that's fine. That was a minor quibble. I said, you know, whether they're paid or not. The point I was trying to make with that video is that firefighters at this point are basically just secondary EMTs. So if we're going to have government subsidized EMTs, let's just have that and let firefighters specialize in fighting fires.
Well, they do a lot of different things. I mean,
Right.
like, in some sense, I see what you're talking about. But also, like, the jaws of life thing. And I know it's not a common occurrence, but there's different things that firefighters are trained to do that EMTs
Sure.
are not. So,
Driving one of those trucks.
Right, and those are the things the firefighters should be called to. I just don't think they need to be redundant EMTs on top of the EMTs that already show up with the fucking ambulance and shit. Now, people have said firefighters tend to be the first responders.
they usually are.
They averagely get there about a minute or two before. They've done a study that shows that it probably improves life chances like 1% to 2%. I don't know if that's worth the cost of keeping all these fire departments open.
Well, the thing is too is that what if you have an event that you
TJ hates firefighters.
What if you have an event?
I
where
don't
you,
hate them.
Well, because let's say 99% of the
I'm
time
just-
you're right.
look,
Hey,
I'll tell you the origin.
Here's a perfect example.
Okay.
Here's a perfect example.
Right.
Okay, so I'll give you this. Okay, so the National Guard, right? If there's no floods or no major events, they don't
Right.
really do shit, right?
Right, yeah.
But when you need them, they're there.
When you need them, we need them. And look,
So I mean,
fires still
where's
happen.
But
You
where's
still
your
need a
argument?
fire department.
Yeah, but I know
Yeah.
that. But where's your argument for that? Like those people have to be trained. They have to know what they're doing. You can't just say, "Hey, let's have a bunch of people volunteer now that there's a calamity." I mean, you can have that, but are they going to be
Look,
trained right?
You could. There's already tons of volunteer firefighters, and I think you're besmirching them by saying that somehow they're not trained right. You know,
No, I'm not saying
we
that.
already rely
You've
a lot
already-
on
you've
volunteer
already,
firefighters.
yeah, I
So-
understand that, but you've already straw man. I mean, I didn't say that. I said that.
Well, you said that there wouldn't. You just implied they wouldn't be trained right if they're volunteers.
No, I'm saying that. No, I'm not saying that volunteers wouldn't be trained right. I'm saying if you don't have enough people, because you're
Right.
saying you don't need that many people.
I'm saying that. Look, the amount that we have more firefighters than ever, especially paid ones.
Yeah.
And
less fires.
Fires are down.
Right,
Not
right,
just
right.
a little bit, but hugely.
What about the argument that the reason fires are down hugely is because we have
That's not accurate, though.
fire? Why is that
it's,
not accurate?
It's because of improved building
The
standards
building materials.
okay.
and materials.
But what about the
Well, they respond
okay, so
faster too, though.
address the urban sprawl argument. As more territory needs to be covered, you need to have more fire stations.
Yeah, you need to have more fire stations, but you don't necessarily have to have more firefighters.
Wait a minute.
And a lot of the
does the fire station itself respond to the fire in the neighborhood? Because where I'm from, you got to have a firefighter at the fire station, right?
Yeah, but right now these fire departments have more staff than they actually need because they're expected to do EMT work, which is like
I could see cutting back on
90-something% of their calls. And all I'm saying is, I think we should take if there's a dire need for that EMT service, which I'm not 100% convinced there is, but if there is, then shouldn't that just be its own separate fucking department?
Is there a shortage?
And the reason that we don't see that, in my opinion, is because that would be viewed as part of socialized medicine.
Well, let me ask you, are they filling a gap, though? Because are there enough EMTs in America?
I don't know.
That could possibly be the answer to your question. Maybe there's a gap, and the number of people are EMTs.
Well, let me just
want to be firefighters.
I'll tell you the origin story of the video.
And that's how
I was originally writing a video called "Pissing Off Every Group Possible," and I wrote all this cliche shit about groups I've already fucking pissed off 1,000 times, like vegans. This is why they suck.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm like, God damn, this is stale. So I asked Chelsea, like, hey, Chelsea, what's a group of people I could piss off? And she's just like, firefighters. I'm like, oh,
That's
firefighters.
true.
And I'm like, fuck, I don't even know how I could possibly piss off. And I kept trying to write something, and like the first few drafts were like, fuck. But then finally, I don't know, I came upon some data that I was like, okay, this is the argument I'll spin. So it was kind of just an effort to piss them off, but I actually kind of found some stuff that surprised me about firefighting.
It's a devil's advocate kind of argument.
Right, but I think it's an argument worth having, honestly, because it seems like in some ways the system that we have is obsolete and that firefighters have been kind of used as a stopgap. In fact, one of the firefighters whose testimonial I found said that he feels like basically they're being used to subsidize a failing healthcare system in this country.
I can see that.
So I don't know. It seems like there's underlying issues that it should at least be talked about and discussed.
Sure.
So
I don't disagree.
that's basically where I'm at on that one. But
I don't disagree.
But,
it's another TJ pissing off a whole little small subset of humanity.
Yeah, like
it's like the bikers,
you know?
yeah.
Bicyclists, dude. Oh, dude, the bicyclists fucking hate TJ, man.
Justin Bieber fans, you know what I mean?
Well, that's his.
But I don't really hate firefighters. I think I was more against the bureaucracy of the system that they entail, and also
the wasteful spending.
The false hero worship just pisses me off. And look, some firefighters are heroes, as I said in the video, but a lot of them aren't. Just like not all cops are heroes. In fact, most of them are pieces of shit. Not all soldiers are heroes. In fact, most of them are pieces of shit.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I mean, just across the board.
Unpatriotic.
Yeah.
Unfucking grateful pieces of shit.
So, Scotty,
you will call one of those pieces of shit immediately if you need one, and you'll be thankful to get his or her help.
Oh yeah, certainly so.
I think you would be. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. No argument there. If my house is burning down, it's not gonna be like, don't call the fire department. I am against them.
Yeah, like
I am morally and ethically and financially opposed to the fire department.
Roll up that hose, you piece of shit.
Get out of here. Get off my property.
I don't want your shitty fire department water all over my fine burning house back here.
I'm fucking. Yeah,
I got my garden hose. Go on.
I got it.
Get out of here. No one needs you. Scotty, you saw Aladdin, dude. What the fuck? Why did you see it, Scotty? You had no choice.
At the behest of a 3-year-old.
You got dragged to it. Yeah, Scotty had to go to a wedding for some family. By marriage.
Dude, I got talked about a wedding first, dude.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh shit.
So there's a story there too.
So it's at a Baptist church.
So you got dragged.
So I basically
wait a minute.
I was making a bunch of jokes about how, like, upon entering the church, I hope I just disintegrate. Like, I hope I get Thanos and I enter the church. Like,
burst into flames or something.
Yeah, something happens to me. Of course it didn't. I mean, it's
all infidels.
It's all bullshit anyways. We all know that.
Foam.
Right.
Yeah.
So we get there, and the whole time Taylor's like, and she's like, the guy that's the pastor, I don't want to dox anybody, but she's like, there's something kind of weird. I've never told you kind of about this dude. I'm like, what? You actually know the pastor? He's like, oh yeah, he went to school with me and stuff. I'm like, okay. Yeah, last memory I have of him, we're at a party, and he saw him there, and she didn't really know him well, but he was on acid, naked, and and she saw his balls and shit. So the dude was down this Baptist fucking preacher. It's like her memory of he's like, oh, he's a total fucking fraud. It's so obvious. He's like, he was never good at anything. He's ugly. He's short. And like this is obviously,
like, I'll be a pastor.
I'll be a pastor. Why not? And apparently he's got like an attractive wife, but it was a super Christian. So like then he became a super Christian.
Dude, he used the ladder, dude, the Christian ladder.
He's like, you know what?
If I got trained to success,
if I have to go to God to get laid, I'll do it.
I wonder if he preaches about doing acid and shit.
But he mentioned in the thing in the ceremony, he's like, when I was married, he brought up his own wife and I had some long engagement, all this other bullshit. It's like this just doesn't seem appropriate when someone's gonna. I had a long engagement myself. It's like, but you guys didn't, so that's good.
I take acid with my balls out.
Oh, there's a bunch of shit about like. And in the fucking ceremony,
some acid, look at my balls.
He basically like they didn't do the traditional thing where they both read. They had to repeat after him, but they weren't mic'd, but he was mic'd. And it's like women, as according to the Bible, must be subject to their husbands. You know, things.
Oh yeah.
And Taylor was all like, huh. Oh yeah. But it wasn't as bad as a Pentecostal wedding that I went to. It was not as bad as that.
Dude, I'm so glad that I don't know people and I don't have to go to weddings and shit.
Oh, dude, when I got married, my ex-wife made sure that none of that obedience and obey shit was anywhere in the fucking vows.
It was definitely there. It was basically like, you're the man, you got to take care of her, and she's subject to whatever you want.
You the man.
Which I totally agree with
she
that part
bitch.
Personally. I mean, women should be subjugated.
Obviously, yeah.
I mean, I'll just be honest here.
And I mean, we don't risk. I don't think we risk losing any patrons saying it because all of our patrons, neckbeard bros.
They're all going to agree with us anyway.
And if there are any women there, they probably are into it. Like, yes, subjugate.
Oh
me.
yeah, and if not, just kidding.
Yeah, we're just joking. TM.
Oh boy. But what about Aladdin, Scotty?
Yeah, tell us about Aladdin.
Well, I want to know. That was the shit cherry on top of the shit sundae of that. So. We go in the theater. It's just, of course, as you imagine, fill the room with children, which that's understandable, and also retards.
Children and retards.
So that was basically the criteria. So actually, to get in the theater, I had to they walked up. They said, "Sir, are you 3 years old or retarded?" And I went, "I'm special." And they're like, "Okay, right this way." So that's how I got past the theater security. So I was able to be allowed.
Because they won't even let you in there if you're not 3 years old or retarded.
I know the show he criticized Will Smith singing, and that definitely held true.
So was it
very auto-tuned, not very energetic? I mean,
so everything just was like Prince Ali, fabulous he Ali.
They definitely dressed it up a lot, but a lot of the numbers he had just were not as good as the Robin Williams stuff. His overall performance, I would say, for a Disney film, I mean, he was one of the best actors in it.
So he actually brought some energy to the role overall.
He could actually act. The other people, the guy playing Aladdin sucked horribly.
Why was he cast? Because you said he couldn't sing either.
Yeah, he was the worst auto-tune one because he had when he hit the high notes, he got really auto-tuned, very obviously. The girl that played Jasmine, she didn't have to get auto-tuned as much. I'm sure they fucked with everyone in post-production, but she wasn't as bad. She was at least a halfway decent singer. Will Smith's performance just very meh. He's just kind of like he's there. As the genie, he was all right. He kind of brought in the role. He had a lot more energy, which I was kind of surprised. So
that's good.
It's not indicative of his performance as the genie, but. I would just say overall, the changes they made, if you've seen the original Aladdin, the movie opens with Will Smith. And he's basically going to tell you the story of Aladdin. And that's when he starts singing Arabian Nights, and he gets into that shit.
I heard Jafar sucked dick.
The worst parts of the movie, Jafar is... Oh, my God.
I heard he's just
Raja is a more interesting character. Abu, a more lifelike character than Jafar.
So basically...
And then when they introduce Jafar, it's like... Jafar's like, I want power, power, power! Then he has some little underling that's totally... But Jafar, you are number 2. Is that not good enough? And then he gives his evil speech and pushes the guy down the fucking bottomless pit. No! Ah!
Dude, I hate when they try to show a villain kill their underling to show how evil they are.
Oh yeah,
because it's just the worst. It's just you're a real villain wouldn't waste a resource like that.
Oh, dude, by the way, Iago totally nerfed by the movie.
Yeah, he's not even he's not even comedic, is he? He's just kind of there.
Yeah, he is a little comedic, but he's just.
And they didn't get Gilbert Godfrey, did they?
No,
just
so stupid.
They made him like a real parrot.
So he's just a parrot. He's just not even
They had a golden opportunity to be like, Jafar! Instead, it was just like...
That's a pretty good Gilbert Godfrey, by the way.
Thief in the palace.
Oh. So he's just a parrot.
He's a parrot.
Lame.
That's gay.
Lame.
I mean, he's smarter than your average. And like, he's a pretty scrappy, smart parrot by the movie standards, but he's still decidedly a parrot.
Dude, I heard that
Jafar's not really a sorcerer until the end of the movie. He only has his staff. It's the only thing that really implies he's a sorcerer at all.
Yeah, that sucks. Because before that, like, did they? So they didn't have the thing where he like figures out that he's got to seek out the diamond in the rough by doing the spell and shit with the fucking hourglass and all that.
Stupid.
That doesn't happen.
Seek out the diamond in the rough.
But how does he know who that is if he doesn't do the
thing
spell?
tells him.
Oh, this thing explicitly just says, yeah, go find him.
Seek
There
out
he
the
is.
diamond in the rough.
This is what it looks like. Why would the Cave of Wonders help you out?
No, he doesn't have the thing where he sees it, where he sees Aladdin. He puts to it. It's like, oh, this might be a good opportunity.
So he figures it out
Pretty much,
randomly? Yeah. Okay, well, that's garbage. Okay. I heard he doesn't transform into a giant snake at the end either.
Nope, I was waiting for that. I'm like, nope, doesn't happen.
Like, that's one of the coolest parts of the original movie. Like, why didn't they do that?
I don't know.
What do they do instead? Just nothing?
They just make him, like, super powerful and just able to fucking go, like, teleport and do kind of, like, it's kind of make him a bat, like, they just make him more of a sorcerer, like, where he can just move around wherever he wants, control people. They almost kind of make him like a Voldemort.
Ew.
They kind of like, you know in Harry Potter, where, like, they held the people in place and shit?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like that. Like, he can do that to people.
Oh. But he doesn't transform into a snake?
No cool-ass snake effect is in the movie. Also, the market scene where that's like, thief will cut off your hand! That's also gone because insensitive.
I heard they cut the line, slaves. There's a line about slaves from the Prince Ali song that they cut.
They add a Jasmine song called Speechless.
I heard that's really awful.
Really awful original song. Just your typical, like, you won't stop me from speaking out. Which
doesn't tell us how the whole Sultan thing wraps up, because I thought that was pretty.
So basically, after, like, Aladdin tricks Jafar, that's very similar. Like, you maybe done a little bit differently, but it's essentially the same. Like, you'll always be number 2 to the genie. He gave you your power. Like, no, give me all the power because I want this nebulous power to do something. So he gets his power. Of course, he becomes a genie. Boop, flicks the lamp away, and then it's like genie's like, all right, Aladdin. You gonna make your last wish, buddy? And he's all like, look, you can change the law. They kind of do the scroll thing here. Just change the law, and then you can marry Jasmine and become the Sultan. And he's all like, genie, I set you free. So that's very similar. And then he's like, I'm free. Ask me to do something. They have this jam joke in the movie too. They rode that till the end of the movie.
Jam joke?
Because they have this really awkward meeting where he goes in there and it's like, she's like, what do you intend to buy with these gifts? He's like, They have this really bad scene where Aladdin tries to act awkward, but it's obvious he's acting awkward and it's not actually that awkward, so it doesn't really work at all.
Sounds like a stinker.
It's just a total stinker. But, the Sultan thing wraps up like this, though. So they're finally like, Jafar's been defeated, all that bullshit. Aladdin's freed the genie. And the Sultan's all like, Aladdin is a good man. And you know what? Instead of like Aladdin becoming the Sultan, I make you the Sultan. You spoke up and you did all this stuff right. You're going to be the Sultan now. And he hands him, like, the ring to Jasmine. And she's like, I'm the Sultan now. And I'm just like,
boy.
And Aladdin's like,
boy.
And they're looking around like, where's Aladdin? Aladdin's gone. And then Jasmine walks out, like, stop, thief. Your Sultan commands you. And it's all like, you're the Sultan now. All right, I'm begging the Sultan.
That's kind of kinky, I guess.
Yeah, so Aladdin's kind of like, so Jasmine's the new Sultan. The Sultan just retires or whatever. I
don't know. I thought it was kind of like an inherited position, like you die and then.
You know what irked me a lot too was like, in the original, it's like, Jafar, my most trusted advisor, and Jafar's like.
Yeah, that's a great scene because the scene you're talking about is like,
when Jafar finally betrays the Sultan, it's all like, he's like, Jafar, my most trusted advisor. Like, it's a shock.
Like he's actually shocked. Oh God.
It's so horrible.
Terrible.
I did like Abu though. Like I said, he was more lifelike than Jafar. Iago and Abu were definitely actually better characters, and Raja, of course, too.
So the animal characters, CG,
more lifelike and better actors than whoever played Jafar. Jafar was by far the fucking worst.
He was the worst part.
Oh, easily.
Damn.
Dude, I knew that when I watched that trailer, because even as everyone was freaking out the genie, I remember hearing that line he read at the very beginning where he's like, I don't even remember what the fuck he said. It was so not memorable, but it was just, he just sounded like a dude. He just sounded like a dude that was saying Jafar lines, and there was no passion or conviction. It was just like, here's the Cave of Wonders, Aladdin, or whatever the fuck, and you're just like, what?
It's just, everyone in the movie, like, honestly, Will Smith's
How'd the audience around you like it, though? How the children and retards.
Yeah! Oh God. So you know when they do the Whole New World song and they're going the magic.
I can show you the world.
You know, so
yeah.
At the end of the song, they're doing the thing where it's like he's dropping her off and like they look at each other and there's some stupid like tweens behind me. They're like, oh my God, please kiss! Oh please kiss! 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 Oh they kiss! Oh my God! They kiss! Oh my God! They kiss! Oh my God!
I would have fucking left
There
the
was
theater.
Well, there was dumbass fucking kids. They're like singing the songs along with it. I'm like, oh.
Dude, when I went and saw, I think the second Pirates movie, there was some teenage girls behind me, and the only thing that they cared about in that movie was that Keira Knightley get with Orlando Bloom and not at any cost with Johnny Depp, basically.
Oh.
Oh no, she
So
better
every
not.
time
She better not.
If she showed interest in Johnny Depp, they were like, no. If they showed interest in Orlando Bloom, like, yeah, girl, you get that Orlando Bloom, yeah.
Oh, you go.
And that was like the only investment they had in the film.
It was like the anti-Depp squad or what?
Yeah, they were like super anti-Depp.
What do they got
and
against
pro
Johnny
Bloom.
Depp? I've always thought Johnny Depp was pretty attractive,
Well,
dude.
apparently they thought he was ugly as sin.
I think he's better looking than Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not so much now that he's in his bloated alcohol phase.
I guess
but,
so.
You know.
I have a
But
picture
at
of
that time, though.
Yeah,
For sure.
early Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, 2003
you know,
Johnny Depp.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Good looking guy.
I mean, Jack Sparrow definitely looks better than fucking...
He's no Jude Law, but you know.
Yeah, you know. No one is fucking attractive for some
Dude,
reason.
can we give me another cardboard cutout of Jude Law? I lost that in the
You
DP
lost it?
divorce. Yeah, well, I lost it in the DP divorce.
Oh, damn.
All right, let's see. What about your shirt? You still got your
You
shirt?
still got your Jude Law shirt, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I still have that.
right.
I wasn't gonna lose that.
I still remember riding the elevator with Paul. That shirt on, dude. And someone just like looks at us like the normal, like, oh, I'm here with these
All right,
people.
so, Paul, do you
Saw
want him-
your shirt and just like got out.
Let me just ask you this
Nothing
then,
to do
Paul.
with you.
Do you want him as just Jude, or do you want him as Dumbledore?
Dude, the one on the right, dude. The second one from
Let
the
me
top.
see.
So here's him
That's
as Dumbledore, I think.
No,
Oh, no.
no. I want him just as Jude.
Go back, TJ. No, that one in the
That
suit's the one we had.
That's the one we had. Yeah, that's the
This
one
is the one we had.
That's the one I want,
And then
man.
there's this, where he looks a little bit more disheveled.
Nah, I mean that was. Oh,
He's got a serious
I mean,
widow's
look,
peak going
you know,
on
he's
these days.
I kind of like
just
that
casual.
one because, like, as Jude gets older, he
Think
does
he
age
ages-
like a fine
You think
wine.
he's aging gracefully?
I really think he is. Yeah.
I mean, he just looked pretty good in the face.
I mean, isn't he like 50 now or something?
I feel like maybe he should be slicking that down a little bit more than he
Ah,
is.
it's Jude Law,
You're gonna
dude.
tell Jude Law how to do his
You ain't
fucking
gonna
hair?
tell
I guess
Jude how to
not.
dress.
So this is how tall is it? I don't know. Celebrity cutouts, yeah.
Now there's a life-size one too, TJ. If you want to go all the way for $68
Where's that?
on the same one you were just
Oh,
on.
it's just a different one.
Yeah, there's two options.
I see.
Interesting.
All right, well, that's something to consider for sure. You know.
I miss my Jude Law cutout. I want it right back there behind me on the show.
Hey,
Watching over me.
Or you could just get a giant Jude Law head.
Oh, that might be nice. I like the whole package though.
Yeah, I mean it's huge.
Part of him is his dapper the way he carries himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True enough.
Have to take your word for it, Paul. Have to take your word.
Sorry, Scotty.
Scotty doesn't.
I just don't have a Jude Law list like you, man. I'll never get it.
Scotty doesn't understand Jude Law.
Man, that seems like a pre-post show, doesn't it?
No, it needs to be about 20 minutes longer.
20
minutes
minutes
long.
longer?
Just 20 more minutes.
Come on, TJ.
All right.
Roll
fair
the
enough.
tape,
We
TJ.
have
Roll
a
the
show to
fucking
do.
tape.
Fair enough.
Roll the fucking tape.
What tape?
I don't know.
All right. The end. Bye.